Hello! If you ask any pugilists what they think about many of the most dominant stand-up fighters in mixed martial arts, they might disagree because what seems to consistently work for many of these fighters isn't always by the book. Over and over, many fighters seem to not only get away with but also find tremendous success loosening up their form in order to fully harness their bad intentions. In the pugilist world, where telegraphing is frowned upon, why can many mixed martial artists swing themselves into success? Well, the gloves themselves do change a lot of the game. If you've worn a pair of mixed martial arts gloves, it's easier to roll a shot coming from a boxing glove than it is a mixed martial arts glove, and they're just much smaller, hitting between guard, pinpointing openings around guard. This might also be why styles which emphasize footwork and distance management have also found a lot of success even when the hands are down. Beyond that, Chuck Liddell, legendary for swinging his opponents to sleep, he would often just take the blow in exchange for an even harder one, which of course he could access due to his hands down style. The game is just a little different, and if one does work to polish their reactions to a point where they can nullify any exaggeration and telegraph, the question now becomes, getting that good in one field, how will they handle another? Brian Kelleher versus Odd Osborne may come to mind. Time allocation, Amanda Nunes struggling on the feet versus a high-level striker, Jermaine Durandamy, but Sun Tzu, the art of war. Avoid what is strong, attack what is weak. If one has dedicated their life to one craft, the time spent may have cost development in another, which of course isn't always true, but again, styles make fights. Thus naturally, the more wholesome Nunes just took the bout to the ground instead. Of course, there are plenty of fighters who have found a way to bridge that gap. There's just so much that goes into the game. Every fighter is bound to have a hole somewhere. As a result, naturally, it's as George St. Pierre said perfectly, styles make fights. Maybe that's why this style of striking continuously finds success versus very high-level competition. Even if you can see the punch coming, Josh Emmett versus a high-level fighter somehow consistently landed these bombs. Let's actually take a closer glance at his overall technique. The one instant that instantly switched Ricardo Lamas off. Stepping in, note how Josh Emmett sits down on his punch. This increases the forward momentum and makes the strike more solid on connection. Note how he's also lowered his hands. As zips turn into the blow, watch how he's loaded elastic energy throughout his ligaments, tendons, and fascia. The fascia in his torso and chest are accelerating the blow. Also note how he's leaning into the overhand, almost like he's combining it with the foundation he's built for his wrestling shot. It's almost as if every wrestler can throw this punch naturally with great efficiency. It's just very in line with the body mechanics they've drilled for tens of thousands of hours. From there, Ricardo Lamas avoids it by a hair, but all of that energy is now loaded into the lead leg. From the hands down position, pivoting his hips from the balls of his feet, the level of commitment Josh Emmett is demonstrating is loaded with pure bad intentions. It's crazy how Shane Burgos kept taking shot after shot. He could even see many of the punches coming. He's just accelerating the punch off his body's force transmission system. Even with telegraph, the punches were just too fast. This is actually core to Naoya Inoue's style. He moves like lightning, as fast as a fighter can come, with a tremendous attention to detail, yet simultaneously when slowing it down. The source of his speed is in how he harnesses the elasticity of his body. He actually trains this on the focus myth specifically, but that's just it. Increased telegraph for the trade-off of accelerating the blow. That's the question. Does his opponent have the reaction time built to deal with the strike, or will he take it trying to counter? Will he guard, realizing it's too fast and hard to time, or even then, will it just blast through his guard? Or, as we see here from Calvin Kattar, angle and pinpointer on the bigger openings of the guard. Calvin Kattar is another one of those guys with straight up bad intentions. His boxing is beautiful, but at times you can definitely see him emphasizing power. Following through with every shot, he has a very similar technique to Kelvin Gastelum, the hop step. Watch here, entering with the long jab, which muffles vision and harnesses load up into the backhand while also hiding the backhand altogether. Naoya Inoue does this a lot as well, a sacrifice in defensive responsibility in order to massively increase the strike's overall power. Calvin Kattar, calm, relaxed, his body mechanics when delivering this blow are engineered for absolute ruthlessness. This tool is one of the reasons why Calvin Kattar hits so very hard. This man is a brilliant striker. He pulls from both worlds, a firm grasp of boxing fundamentals, but he can break the rules like an artist when delivering his bad intentions. Just here, watch this. You're supposed to come back on the same line of the punch to maximize defensive responsibility. Have the hand come back to the chin, but Calvin Kattar is something we've seen Conor McGregor do a lot. On his straight, following through with the punch and dropping his hands before having it return to his chin. This is why his straight has so much commitment, thus so much power. Of course he can follow with a more clinical approach, but this is a common theme when he decides to increase the commitment of his strike. Watching Calvin Kattar throw his hands is a thing of beauty. He's clearly a very intelligent fighter with an immense fight IQ, but he also possesses this very real malice, very real bad intentions. Watching his fights, truly, this man is as cold as they come to the core. Don't worry about power, trust the technique. That has always been advice shared to preserve one's form, and it does make a lot of sense. But every time we see a glint of bad intentions, the seams of what we thought we knew come loose, and all chaos breaks loose. And to take it even further, it's contagious. After all, there's nothing our human soul craves more than authentic expression, even when that expression is ruthless. To that end, who do you think has the baddest intentions in mixed martial arts? I'd love to hear your perspective in the comments below.